the screen that I'm sharing is logged on to Club Zone. I've logged on as a equivalent person in Glenburn. I just chose a random club, so I apologise to Glenburn. The people that have access to enter teams are the junior and Saturday junior conveners, the midweek conveners, the junior Saturday and Sunday support people, and anyone that's designated a club manager. If you're one of those people that have that and you still can't see it, it could be that your user ID and password is listed under another role as well as one of those first two, and the system's taking the other role that doesn't let you put in teams. So if you click along here and you enter teams, you'll get a list. At the moment, it's just showing 3 competitions. It's showing Saturday AM, Sunday AM, and Wednesday, which is the midweek men's. That's closed because the competition's already started and that's in red and you can't get back in. At the moment, this is green because the entry window is open between this date and this date. And it will be green. It'll go amber if you've closed it, but you can always, in closing is a way of indicating to the association that you've put in all your teams and you've finished. You can always change it within the time window, within the entry window, by going and unfinalising it. And we'll talk about how to do that. So closing is really just an indication to the association that the clubs have, that you're not going to be entering any more teams, or you don't think you're going to be entering any more teams, or you're not going to change anything. The main thing here in juniors is we've got the minimum junior date of birth of the players. Anyone that's older than those dates of birth have been removed from the system, and you won't be able to enter anyone with an older date of birth. You shouldn't be fudging the dates of birth. The whole system works on having accurate dates of birth. This button here is when you're finished, will list out all the teams that you've entered and details about payment. This option down here is once we choose a competition, which we'll choose Saturday AM, lists some buttons. You can download all your players that are in the system. It also includes where they've last played, what season they last played, and their UTR numbers. And so that's a good starting point, is when you're trying to placements in teams. There's 3 other options. There's this: if you've got a player that you know is never going to play for your club again, and they're in the list, you can notify the association that you want them to be removed from your club list. But don't take them out if they're just not playing this season, because they might come back in the next winter or something like this. Only if you know that they're never coming back to the club, do that removal. Better to leave them in there and just have them inactive. The other option is if you know that there's a player that's coming from another club to play for you, you can pull their details into your list. So you can go along and click in here. You can choose a club, and I'm trying to remember which club I got this there. I've got Burwood. Selecting players is always by look ahead. You've only got to type the first 2 or 3 letters of the name to find your player. So if I go there, Wang, I can find there's David Wang, and in this particular case, this player is moving from Burwood to play at Glenburn. I can copy the player, but it says they're already there. That's because I've done it before and I forgot to reset it. I've got to choose another one, and I've got to think up the name. I can pick Eva, copy the player in, and it'll say Eva's successfully copied across. So that means then when you're entering players into the teams, you can select Eva and put her into a team. Likewise, back here if you've got a player that's being played Sunday and they're moving across to play Saturday, they're actually different databases and you've got to move them across. You can do the same thing. You're saying we're moving a player from Sunday AM and all right, as you type in more letters, you refine the process down, and we can say Edison, we want him, he's moving from Sunday to now play in Saturday team, and we've copied him across. So that's important to do at the start. You can come in if you're entering teams and you suddenly realise, oh, I've got someone that's moved from another club. You can go back and do this process to copy them in. So now if we go into Saturday AM, we will get this screen. This takes you back to the menu we were just at. This finalises your team entries if you finished everything. But now we want to choose, what are we entering? We're going to enter in, say, Rubbers Open competition. Then it puts a drop-down list here listing all your teams that you've entered for open rubbers. And you can change it and use anyone. We don't have a team there at the moment. These buttons down here is what's used. Add a team, edit the team, delete the team, refresh the grid if you want to. So you can come along here and say we want to add a team. What you have to choose is the section that you want to put them in. If you're putting two teams in the one section, you can designate and give them a colour to differentiate the two teams. If they're playing at a court that is not the club's court, you put in some details about the club court. A lot of people go along and they'll write Glenburn in here, and you don't write Glenburn in here. You would only write it in here if they were playing at another venue. So you might say playing at Eli Park, right? So that when they work out what's going on, the record secretaries know what court they're playing at. This is where you put notes about, and we can scale this up, we can size this up. This is where you put notes about the team. So you could put in notes saying this team, and I can't spell properly, this team needs a challenge. Right, so they weren't doing well enough. So this is comments you can put in there, and I can do spell checking, which is really good. So this is the notes that you're putting there. That you also would put in here, play at home with girls team.
Bruce, I've got some questions.
Already, okay.
I haven't entered teams before, but what I thought happened in the past was that we would indicate kind of roughly like B or C, but what you're saying is that we specifically put them into a certain level.
Yeah, what in the past it used to be B high, B medium, B low, right?
Yeah.
Just the whole nature of this is having them in the actual sections and moving them around within the section. So again, in B, you've got from B1 to B4. So think of that as high, medium, low, low.
So we would just do it based on what we know from previous seasons.
Yes. And if you put a team in B2 and you think this team is similar to that, put them in where you think they should go.
Yeah.
The grading, looking at past, where the players have played in the past, and the UTR numbers will have them be moved around.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So just because you ask for this, and it doesn't mean that you'll get it, but it's an indication of the standard you think they are. So you've got some say in the matter. Okay.
The second question is to do with, I know there's open and there's also boys only teams.
There's junior rubbers boys.
Yeah, right.
Which is a different competition.
Yeah. Okay, and maybe it's not a question for you. Maybe so do we only put people into a boys only if they only want to play with boys, and mostly it'll just be the open?
Yes, if they're all boys, they should be entered for a full boys section. If there's one girl or more than one girl, then they should play in the open sections. That's Saturdays. If it's Sundays, they're all open.
And Sunday is open only.
Sunday they're all open, so it wouldn't matter whether they're boys or girls in any
Okay. Thank you.